This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Liquid IV. October is here, and that means the weather is getting cooler, football is on every weekend, and Halloween is nearly upon us.
And with so much to like about October, make sure you're at your best with Liquid IV's new Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support Mango Passion Fruit. One stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone, and with 5 times the daily value of vitamin C and 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support gives you the scientifically formulated immune support you need.
So tear, pour, and live more and support everyday wellness with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, oh yeah, man, we're reviewing NXT. It's back at the Performance Center. Nothing but excitement, wall-to-wall NXT this week. Also, we're going to be talking about the Mox World Order. That's right. Jonathan Moxley and his crew of no-gooders are going to be...
for you.
Oh, you just ruined me. You just interrupted the intro. Here we go again.
I did because I got a great question.
I was excited for NXT, man.
Oh, I got a great question here. So, the NWO got a classic wrestling theme. If the Mox World Order has a comparable theme, would it just be AC/DC covering it?
AC/DC covering the New World Order wrestling theme. That actually might be one AC/DC song that isn't absolute trash, Larson.
No, they'll find a way to make it sound like all their other songs.
I like, you know what? I like that you and I have this thing where, if you like something, I mean, we're on the same page on a lot of stuff, but on some things, we'll divide our audience a little bit. People be, I'm with Steve with this, I'm with Larson on this. On AC/DC, I think you and we come together like that Predator handshake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like the Outrunners. Yeah.
Like the Outrunners, exactly. Yeah. Like one bicep is Steve, one bicep is Larson, and in the middle is AC/DC is trash.
Yep.
Oh my God. Why, dude, I was trying to start this podcast on a positive note, man. NXT wall-to-wall action, AEW.
Well, wall-to-wall LED screens is what's going on at the Performance Center now.
Yeah, but it's all just black and white, so I like it better. It's less stimulation, man. I just need less visual stimulation.
But it makes the space feel so much smaller to get tear a wall down.
Oh, you're anti-new PC?
It feels like there's 25 people in that room, Steve.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll talk about NXT. Of course, we save that on this episode for the main event. That's how important it is. That's how exciting wall-to-wall action it is. Prestigious. We save that for the main event. Of course, first we're going to talk about. Do we have any news today?
No, not really.
I think there's that thing about Danielson. Fightful said that he's not expected to wrestle anytime soon.
Yeah, there's that. And then Brock's not coming back, so that's good news.
Oh, whoa, back up. What about that one? I thought he was totally coming back.
No, Fightful says there's no creative plans in place for him. So.
Wow. Didn't the Wrestle Vote say that they want him back? Say that WWE was going to? Oh, man. Warring dirt sheets. One, Sean Ross Sapp, pretty well known for having like a good record on everything. And another one is like a Twitter account that sometimes get things right. So till Sean says otherwise, I'm going to go with Fightful on this one.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good. I didn't want Brock back, dude.
No, there's no reason to bring Brock
There's no
back.
reason. This is a headache.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody would ask Triple H about that Brock shit, about the lawsuit shit in one of them press scrums?
They should.
And then
he'll give another embarrassing answer.
Right. Let's do this then. You be Triple H. Let's role play. I'll be content creator. Okay. Are you ready to go? You ready?
I don't know if I can muster up as embarrassing an answer as Triple H would put out there.
Listen, Meisner. Okay.
Because Larson would. All right, I'll try.
All right, let's do this. All right. Hi, Triple H.
I feel like you should be Triple H. You do really good, Triple H.
Come on, man. Let's just. I'm ready to go here. I'm ready to go.
All right. I'm not going to put on the Triple H voice.
All right. Hi, Triple H. I'm Bill from Bill Farts from the Wrestle Farts YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's my channel.
Brock Lesnar was reported to be the person named in the Janelle Grant lawsuit as being a big piece of shit. Why did you bring him back?
All right, I'm going to paraphrase what Triple H would say. He'd say, I don't know anything about it. Haven't read it. We're looking forward. That's what he'll say.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was, I'll be honest, that was disappointing. You didn't even try the accent. You know, the voice.
No, because I can't do it. You can very well.
Just like a little bit. Can you just try real quick?
No, I can't do
Oh,
it.
man. What a
I
bummer.
can't.
What a bummer.
Gee, you can do it
Zero
fine.
effort points. Zero effort points.
I'm excited to talk about Mox World Order. Mox World Order.
Hey, what'd you think of Dynamite this week, man?
You know, we weren't, terribly high on the finish of Wrestle Dream.
Yeah.
And it's not because Danielson lost. That's not it. It just felt like expectations were raised to a point, and what happened didn't meet those expectations. Maybe that's on us. I feel like it's on AEW because they very clearly set high expectations. I don't know if it delivered. So following Wrestle Dream, I saw, I apologize, I don't know who it was, a TikTok floating around internet with this dude who was speculating on what the story could be, and is essentially Mox World Order is out there to raise the bar for AEW. So everybody who's kind of been at the same place in terms of their position on the card will then have to step it up. And that's more or less in Mox's mission statement, which opened the show, which is kind of what he said. He said, I want everybody to get what I've gotten from pro wrestling. Problem is, ego's out of control. People celebrate when there's no need to celebrate. People partying and dancing when there's no need for dancing and partying. I can't stand it anymore. I'm going to burn this forest down to plant a new one. Which isn't the most concrete thing as a goal. I get it. So I'll say this. As far as Mox's motivation, I need to see more. In terms of how they implemented the story in this first episode of Dynamite after Wrestle Dream, I thought they did a good job of bringing a lot of people into the story. A lot of people now have directions and motivations when they didn't before. So even if like the central premise of the storyline, I'm still not sure about, so far episode 1 in terms of how it's implemented, I think it's heading in the right direction.
I agree. I liked it a lot. By the way, I was able to track it down. John Boy Bebop on TikTok.
There we go.
Had that. And I like that. You know, man, I like when people, they use content creation to talk about story and they talk about motivation.
It's like Mythgifts, they
like
analyze and they critique the programming to try to piece things together. And I
this is
that.
crap. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. And I like the TikTok. I agree. I think you and I are kind of on the same page, and this has nothing to do, and I'm kind of glad. It's got nothing to do with Shane McMahon. So let's just get that out of the way. Shane World Order is not happening. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, there's nobody behind everything. Mox is top villain. Yeah.
Right. And you know what? That's probably for the best, to be honest with you. I'm 100% in agreement with you though. I think that I liked that he was as pointed as he was in saying, I hate what AEW has become, which on one hand is a very broad thing. It's like, okay, well, the original point of the Blackpool Combat Club was let's mold the future of AEW by bringing in guys like Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, like the dudes who can be vicious in the ring, the guys who can be with wrestling, right? The guys who, Mox sees, hey, you could be like me in the future. I see a little bit of myself in you.
Yeah.
And that's what they want AEW to be. And I don't know, though, like, you're right. The execution last night, I thought, number one, they evidently hired somebody who knows what they're doing from a production aspect, because whether it was like MJF's promo, which was, bizarrely incredibly well lit, well produced, or the stuff that was done in the truck, in the bed of the truck at the beginning and at the end, that stuff was really well done just from a production aspect. There was one production slip last night that really kind of pissed me off. But and that's when the Elite were out there watching the damage go down with the Mox. And like they showed them once, and then you have to hear Excalibur say, oh, the Elite are leaving, and they just focus on Mox choking out Evil Uno. Like the tide is gonna turn on that one. Go back to the Elite. Let's see them leave. There was one quick shot of them like going through the tunnel between that. But that sort of was annoying. But no, I liked the, we didn't see the AEW World title, which I love that little detail of it.
I assume it's in the briefcase now as opposed to the duffel bag.
I didn't know if it was in the briefcase or if the briefcase was something different. I was like, did I miss something with the briefcase? Maybe that's the case.
They didn't explain either, no.
Maybe that's the case. But yeah, I don't know. I love that we didn't see it, though. I thought that was really good. And if Mox is trying to kind of reset AEW in his own image, I'm with you in terms of I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Because if you look at the specifics of what's going on, like you're going to complain about Swerve holding the title last time. You know what I mean? Like it's Swerve is that thing that you want, that I would think Mox in character would have a philosophy that would appeal to Mox.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Danielson holding the title is a philosophy you think would appeal to Mox in the first place.
Well, I think the issue with Mox as it relates to Danielson is that Danielson was basically taped together. He was falling apart.
Yeah,
and I think
top, sure.
Yeah, and I think one thing is, and I wonder if they'll get to this, because when Mox first turned heel, someone pointed this out, is when Danielson agreed to team with Eddie, I think at Anarchy in the Arena, that Claudio just like threw his hands up and left the ring.
Yeah,
like that was an issue.
Yeah,
and I think the idea that Danielson was open to working with AEW rather than sticking with Blackpool Combat Club and making sure that we're only going to work with people here in terms of elevating AEW, that seemed like it was a sticking point.
Yeah, yeah. And that's great. If they're laying the groundwork at that point, that's good stuff. I'm not going to criticize, the tribalism is something else when you get on social media. And honestly, like I'm probably just going to, I don't know. I mean, at a certain point soon, I'll probably just end up getting rid of Twitter altogether because they're getting rid of the block. They're going to try to get rid of the block function. Apparently, I'd be kind of curious to see how the Apple App Store and Google.
Well, apparently, at both the app stores, that's like against.
I think it
terms of service. Yeah.
But then they might be able to come back and say, well, you can always protect your tweets. So I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it's when it's just blind, like, oh, this is, garbage. Then it's like, I'm not going to listen to that. I thought besides the first like half hour or so, Dynamite was pretty darn strong. I'll put it this way. I'm sorry. Besides the first, I'd say up until the Mercedes and Queen Aminata match. Because like Cole's promo, I love Adam Cole. I'll always love Adam Cole.
That is such a messy situation they've made for themselves there. Where
is.
Adam Cole is the one who stabbed MJF in the back, but now he has his return promo and has to kind of play the victim.
He's got to retcon things, really.
He does.
That's what he's doing.
When he is like, I never trusted you. I never liked you. No one back there likes you. There's some mental gymnastics that have to take place to make this make sense. And I feel like they tried their best, but still. Now, again, if it's a situation where Adam Cole came out and said, I tried to think that I needed to take down evil with evil. I've been on the shelf for the year. I've had opportunity to reevaluate everything and grow to appreciate what I had. I didn't need to be this person. And now that I have my career back after being on the shelf for a year, let's move forward. But first part of that is dealing with MJF.
Yeah.
Do it that way as opposed to being like saying I had to be bad to fight bad MJF because MJF at his nature is just a terrible human being.
Like, so you were doing the devil stuff to be altruistic?
It doesn't make any sense.
Make any sense in the world. And I love Adam Cole. I'll follow him to the ends of the earth, man. I love Chugs. But yeah, even it's funny because it's kind of a litmus test for like a dude who's one of the top tier promos in the game, and even he can't make heads or tails about this.
Yeah,
it's silliness. I don't even know like if it's a smart move to just jump right back into this. Maybe they should have just sort of kept them separate.
You could have, but I think there's a way. I mean, it's tough. Regardless of how you approach it, it's going to be difficult. Given the dynamics, how they were and how you want them to be now.
Yeah,
I think there's a way that you can kind of gloss over things and do it in a way that's more sensical than what they did.
Yeah. You don't think like just from a general, I don't know.
I think they think it's a money match that they want to do.
It's one of those things, dude. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right about that. But from a fan perspective, from my perspective anyways, it's like that feels like an eon ago. It was literally like a different phase of AEW.
It really was. Like Snap Grapple Pop here says Cole should have admitted some culpability.
Yeah. Isn't that, I mean, it's sort of, I don't know, dude. That's sort of, and I'm with you. I agree 1,000%. It's sort of in the details, though. I just, from a general standpoint, from a macro standpoint, do I really want this match right now to revisit stuff that was happening when it was like, there are weeks where this is really fun and they have obviously good chemistry, and I was kind of curious, but the devil thing was just in the end. I don't know. Probably best left, in the past. But I don't know. The match will be good. It'll be interesting to see how they, who they think kind of needs to come out of this feud in a bigger way, given that they're both kind of just coming back from a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. That was sort of, I don't know, not the greatest thing in the world. I think also towards the beginning of the show was, what was the first match? Wasn't it FTR?
Yeah. It was FTR versus Learning Tree. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that I could do with that. I like Big Bill and I like Brian Keith, but it
just seems to be a thing where FTR gets the win just so the Outrunners can come out and get the pop.
Yeah, but I mean,
over now.
Otherwise, I thought, like, for example, Mariah May had a really good promo in that first bit. The Mercedes Queen Aminata stuff I thought was really good. I like the MVP stuff. I like all the MVP stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that's a nice shot in the arm for what AEW is going on. So
I kind of felt like that after the Mox promo, they should have got right into how what happened at Wrestle Dream kind of trickled down to the rest of the roster.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because even though Adam Cole was out there at the end of Wrestle Dream, he didn't reference it at all during his promo.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be the through line through as much of the show as possible, if that's your A story. And if you're kind of putting a line in the sand, for the most part, I mean, obviously anybody who's involved in feuds right now, like Will Ospreay is not going to get involved in this Mox World Order thing because he's still feuding with the Callis family.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Swerve's not going to get involved now because he's feuding with MVP and Shelton and soon Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, yeah.
But, for the primary players in the story, and they did do that eventually, but it just kind of felt like, all right, this happens. Let's see the direct result of that right away.
Yeah.
Of what happened at Wrestle Dream. And yeah, we saw some B-roll of Garcia, Hook, Orange, Private Party, them, reacting to Danielson getting laid out. But let's see the fallout that day, Wednesday, when they arrive. Things like that.
Yeah,
and we got to it, but just for the sake of story, follow that.
I don't disagree. I kind of feel like the entirety of that should have been the beginning, middle, and end of the show. Mm-hmm. I don't disagree at all. I thought, like, ending on, I jokingly text you. I was like, what are they doing with this collision main event on the main event of Dynamite? Because generally speaking, Christian and Jay White, sort of more collision dudes than Dynamite dudes. I know Jay White's been out for a while, but and then the Hangman stuff was both awesome and hilarious because he's great. But yeah, I thought that should have been punctuated by, the mock stuff with the backstage.
Like if you made an event with Conglomeration versus the Elite and have, because that, and again, from a production standpoint, if done right, if the final image of the show is the Elite who were trying to take over AEW from Tony Khan or staying there watching Blackpool Combat Club, going about it in a far more vicious way and not knowing how to handle it.
Yeah.
That's potentially pretty intriguing, but
I do love, and it's, there's trying to figure out exactly how this is going to play out. And again, for this to be remembered as, an angle that, wow, this actually really was something that was awesome. There's going to be you're going to need a lot of really well handled follow through. This is going to be a big test for AEW, see if they can actually pull that off. Because roping in the Elite, who are supposed to be like, the bosses of the company besides Tony Khan, and them looking completely helpless and shocked at the amount of violence in the ring, how do they play into this? Are we going to get a face turn with these guys? Is this going to elevate Okada?
Except for Jack Perry, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Is this going to elevate Okada to the level where it's like, okay, well, he's going to be the guy to stand up against Mox? So I thought there was some cool stuff. I liked, the Callis family stuff is kind of interesting too, with Fletcher being elevated, and Takeshita, I like him, and then this new tag team of Brian Cage and all them. So there's some interesting stuff going on. We'll get to the rest of it here in just a second, though. Larson, let's go ahead and pay some bills. What do you say?
Let's do it. Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from our sponsor, Liquid IV, Steve.
Yes.
You know what?
What?
There's a lot to like about October. You got cooler weather.
True.
Weather's great outside right now. You got weekend football.
Oh, yeah.
Got Halloween coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps most importantly for us, it's the start of the professional basketball season.
That's correct, Larson. Not to mention our basketball season is still in full swing. That's right, year long, baby. And to play our best, we need to be at our best. And with Liquid IV's new Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support Mango Passion Fruit, we get 5 times the daily value of vitamin C and 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. So our body gets the immune support it needs.
Yeah, powered by Live Hydra Science. 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone and is an essential part of our semi-weekly basketball games. I don't know how I could continuously hit one 3-pointer after another right in Steve's face, almost at will, for 2 straight hours. Make step back, half-court shots, and do it twice a week without Liquid IV. You're shaking your head, what?
That doesn't happen.
It does happen. And now, with Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support, we can also get scientifically formulated support for healthy immune systems and all-in-one hydration.
So tear, pour, and live more and turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration and support everyday wellness with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com. So, the new way that we're breaking things down, Larson, where are we going here?
Well, I guess we can go into more detail on the Mox's mission statement.
Okay.
So it kicks off with another one of those really well done video packages. This is following the events of Wrestle Dream, where Blackpool Combat Club is leaving the arena after the show. They all pile into a pickup truck.
Right.
And Mox drops promo from Bed of Truck, which I didn't know you could do that anymore. At least in California, you can't ride in the bed of a truck anymore.
Oh, yeah. They're in, where were they last night?
Washington. Well, no, this was shot in Tacoma. It's right after the show.
Oh, right. Yeah, a little bit more maybe. Well, yeah, you'd think that, if they were down like in the Bible Belt, they could probably do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember one time back when you could ride the bed. This is an aside. The bed of a truck.
Yeah.
I got a ride when I was in high school, and we were riding back there. There was a bunch of us in the bed of this truck, and somebody wasn't paying attention and nearly rear-ended the truck I was in the bed in.
Oh wow!
And about pooped my pants.
Oh wow! Almost had
frightening.
A full.
Oh, it was bad.
Wow, full soil.
Well, if I actually pooped my pants, it'd been worse if the car had hit the bed of the truck. And
I don't know, man. At least in one situation, you go flying out, you're in the hospital, you got like a cool cast on. The other one, you just you blow your pants out.
It's entirely possible that both those things could occur, though. That
everybody's like, oh,
as a moment of impact, I realized, oh my gosh, this would be terrible, full soil, and then get ejected from the bed of the truck, and horrible injuries follow. And both those things could happen,
and just dookie everywhere.
Yeah, I'm saying both those things could have happened.
Yeah, I think
Thankfully,
on the power
neither.
rankings of things that you'd want to have happen most, number 1, clean pants, broken arm, number 1. Number 2, broken arm, soiled pants. And number 3, just soiled pants. At least you have a cool aspect with that broken arm, even if you did the full soil.
Have you ever had a cast before?
No, man. Seems like it'd be itchy.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah.
You know how it would take it off, though? The way The Rock did in that one movie?
Oh, yeah, just flex it off.
Just flex it off.
Anyways, Mox says, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, brother.
He says, someone has to be responsible when things
Oh, my
get
God.
out of-
Did he really drop a let me tell you something?
He did. He opened it with a let me
hell
tell you
yeah.
something.
That's exciting.
So someone has to be responsible when things get out of control. So I will be responsible. People think they know what I'm about, think they know what motivates me. They don't know anything. I have a dream of a land of opportunity where people come to AEW and they achieve anything they want, become the best version of themselves. Wrestling gave me everything I have in this world. I want that for other people. 150 wrestlers on this roster, fat paychecks, and their junk in their hands. What are they supposed to do? Where are they supposed to go? I hate what AEW has become. Egos out of control, celebrate when there's no need to celebrate. I'll burn the forest down to plant a new one. I'm not sentimental. I will do what has to be done. We will do what has to be done. We can see a better future, and we will make it happen. If you want to come with us, you can come with us. If you don't, run while you can. Stand down while you can. Get out of the way. What's the need to know for those in AEW? What's the new paradigm? It's very simple. You work for me now. And then later on in the show, after the Elite have their match, they're fighting with the Dark Order, Top Flight. Eventually, they leave, and then Uno, like, yes, fire lit under Evil Uno's butt because he's dropping this great promo saying, "Hey, we'll fight you anytime. Come get it." And then same with Top Flight.
Yeah,
had a really impassioned promo saying, "We want trios match." It's working already.
I mean, this is kind of the equivalent of, like, I don't know, the NWO working against fucking like Norman Smiley, and no offense to Norman, so just thinking of where he's.
Well, they did mention a couple times during the show that Darby's disappeared after Wrestle Dream, totally pulling the sting.
Hey, let me ask you something, because I was thinking about that.
Yeah,
this shit ain't going down to like Revel. Like, if they're gonna stay true to this, it's gonna be 18 months of Mox on top, man. 18 months of Mox matches. Could you imagine if we don't see the AEW World title for 18 months?
Oh, that sounds difficult.
18 months of Mox matches.
18 months.
Aren't you so excited about that?
Not terribly.
I got a quick idea.
Sure.
I'm going to name some AEW
Let's
names.
truncate that to like maybe 6 months. How about that?
Okay, all right. Yeah, you can't do it beat for beat.
No.
Let's and in the meantime, who's the Luger who does beat Hogan? Remember they had that thing like that whole time. Oh, who's going to take down Hogan? And like Luger did for a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so, dude, Hogan was so shady for that shit. Who'd be the Luger to take out Mox for a week? It's got to be Orange Cassidy, right?
Yeah.
Orange
probably.
Cassidy's the Lex Luger of AEW.
Yeah. Shows that Mox is beatable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll name some names.
Sure.
And you tell me if you think Mox thinks that they're thumbs up or thumbs down.
Sure.
All right. Start off easy. Swerve Strickland. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I would think Mox would think thumbs up.
Thumbs up, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Hangman Adam Page.
I don't know if Mox has a ton of respect for him after their last feud. So I'm going to say Mox thinks Page, he's too wrapped up in his own insecurities. Thumb down.
The other side of that, though, is, because I think I agree with you, but the other side of that is, what did Mox say about your number one wrestler, CM Punk? Weak mind, weak mod, all that stuff. And Hangman was on the other side of that. So maybe, I don't know.
On the fence.
On the fence. Okay, fair enough. I do think that the weak mind, I think he probably thinks Hangman has a weak mind.
Yeah.
Throw another name out there. The Machine, Brian Cage.
Thumbs down.
Wow. No hesitation. Interesting. Okay. What about Action Andrade?
Oh, you saw what he did to Action Andrade last night.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it? It was pretty cool. Here's a name for you. Will Ospreay.
Thumbs down.
I feel like he would probably just get Ospreay and Action Andrade confused.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
I feel like Mox is to a degree conflating Will Ospreay with everything he sees wrong with AEW.
Isn't Mox's thing just he's like, against the flippy stuff?
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing is that, hey, everybody, toughen up a bit.
Tired of all these choreographed moves.
Yeah. I want long physical matches. That kind of go nowhere.
Look, here's the thing. The more you bore the audience, the more they'll be happy when the match is over.
I want finishes that don't build to a finish. That just kind of happen. Because that's how real fights are. Sometimes they ascend.
Hey, no lies told there.
No, I know, but this is a storytelling medium. You're supposed to have drama in these matches, but the match just kind of ends.
Yeah. All
so
right.
tying into what's going on with Blackpool Combat Club, you have the Elite. So earlier in the show, there's a private party interview, and private party, they wanted the Young Bucks there for her interview. So Zay congratulates the Young Bucks on their win, says we were this close to becoming tag champs. So the Young Bucks are like, all right, what's the point of this? And Quinn says, well, we want another shot at the tag titles. And Matt says, we were wrong to call you a mid-card act, but, and Nick follows, that doesn't work for them, brother. That was their last chance in the title. And they leave, so Stokely steps in. He says, no one has ever told me that I should get another opportunity, so why should you? And he adds that since they've been in AEW since the Obama administration. So next time they challenge for the tag titles and lose, how about this? Private party, done. And everybody knows Isaiah is a single star anyways, and he leaves. And Mark Quinn's like, what the heck? Go to commercial, we come back. And the Elite are dropping a promo, and Jack Perry says, before we go handle business against conglomeration, we need to acknowledge today is a special day. It's Kenny Omega's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And Perry says, Kenny has had 20 feet of, quote, putrid intestine.
Does anybody not like Jack Perry, man? Come on, that's good.
Surgically removed to save his life, but we need to do something special. His camera pans down. There's a cake. It says, happy birthday, Kenny.
It looks delicious, by the way.
It does, until Jack Perry dumps a bunch of guts on it.
What in the world?
And then Okada says, happy birthday, bitch.
Yeah.
And then Jack says, Kenny, get well soon or die. We don't care. So they make their way to the ring for the match against Conglomeration.
And it's all like fun and games. So they come out, they take on the Conglomeration. The finish sees Orange setting up for the Orange Punch. I forget on who. Wheeler Yuta blasts him with a knee. Plus, the ref calls for a DQ.
Wheeler dressed in the same outfit that Bryan Danielson wears all the time.
It's the Peter Griffin outfit. It's the white shirt with the green pants.
Yeah.
The rest of the Blackpool Combat Club, or whatever they're going to be called, the Mox World Order, hit the ring, lay out the Conglomeration while the Elite watch on, and they just look like they're pooping their pants. They look like they are Larson in the back of the bed of that truck there, about to get rear-ended.
Trying to hold back the full soil, man.
Trying to hold it back. And to watch that expression on Okada is something to behold, because this dude is not afraid of anything, and he's looking in there like, oh, fuck. And so a bunch of the like nerds from the back, like the Dark Order and all them, and Top Flight, they come running out. Reynolds is like, what are you guys doing? Come help. And they run, and they're getting killed. Like Reynolds ends up getting hung by his belt and everything.
Yeah,
it was a really good looking thing.
Yeah.
Pac attacks Kyle O'Reilly with a briefcase. Maybe the title's in there. Mox comes through the crowd with Marina. He gets in the ring. The Blackpool Combat Club jump Orange Cassidy. They're beating the crap out of him. That's when Top Flight comes out. Of course, easily the Blackpool Combat Club fights them off, including a memorable spot where Mox fucking action and trading time tries some springboard bullshit, and Mox just absolutely floors him with a simple forearm. That's when the Dark Order comes down. Dark Order gets wrecked too. Jack Perry walks out because the Elite are like, maybe. He's like, no. Let's go. We're leaving. So they leave. Mox is choking out Evil Uno while that happens. That's when they string up Reynolds with his belt. Mox gets on a mic, says, make no mistake about it. If you are involved in any way, shape, or form with AEW, you are on notice. No, he says, you are under attack. If you didn't like what happened on Saturday, if you don't like this, you need to understand this is just the cost of doing business. And then Claudio and Wheeler ram the steps into Reynolds' guts. Blackpool Combat Club leaves through the crowd. Garcia and Private Party come to the ring to check on Orange Cassidy. Excalibur mentions that Darby has disappeared after what happened at Wrestle Dream. Although we did see this sort of undercut so many things, because it was like right after this, when they're about to throw the commercial, you see Darby Allin, and he's like at a skate facility of some sort. Yeah. He was like, hey, what's up, everybody? He has a smile on his face. Hey, what's up, everybody? Darby Allin, AEW superstar here. Tony Hawk's supposed to be here, but he's too busy playing video games. But I got to say,
being a grandpa.
Oh yeah, being a grandpa,
because his son had a kid with
Baby
Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love's daughter.
Yeah, right. And so he's like, he's here, he's off being a grandpa. Look, I got a signed picture of him, guys. And it's like, why are you don't air this right now?
It was a fundraiser for whatever the skate park foundation.
I know.
They raised money for.
You got to air that a different time.
They should have done it last week, I know.
Really should have done that at literally any other time would have been so appropriate. But yeah, I guess for a good cause, so that's cool. So the Elite walk backstage. Let's see here. Who's this? So like the good guy, like Garcia, steps up to them. Is like, hey, how could you let that happen? You guys are EVPs. And Matt's like, it's none of your. He's like, that out there, none of our business. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was Garcia. Comes up and Private Party comes up later.
What's her name? Arcani Aura.
Okay, the interviewer. Yeah. So she's like, hey, how could you let that happen? And Matt's like, that's none of our business. Right when he says that, Private Party and Garcia step up, and he's like, what is your deal? You built this place. Now you're gonna watch it go down in flames. And then Perry gets in Garcia's face. They sort of head button, but there's not, they're not like drawing straight
it back.
Up, yeah. And then Garcia, Private Party sort of, pull them back. The Elite leave. Garcia's like, it turns to private parties like, hey, things are about to get crazy. I've got your back if you have mine. And like, yeah, we're good. So that was a nice little thing because it's like, okay, we're starting to get the troops ready, which in theory, hopefully should elevate all these guys who are going to be like, okay, we're going to be serious. We're going to be taking these guys on. Let me ask you this, though. Does it kind of Top Flight versus Blackpool Combat Club on Saturday on Collision? Again, kind of feels like Hall and Nash taking on, like, you know, just the lowest cards of WCW back in the day.
No, I get that. At the same time, though, if you're going to try to use the storyline to elevate people, then I guess in one sense you want to build to the matches that you really want to feature the people you really want to elevate.
Like the Blackpool Combat Club's got to wipe the floor with these guys, right?
They'll win the match, yeah. But then I guess then you could tell the story of Top Flight figuring out how to get in a position where then they could compete for those trios titles against Blackpool Combat Club and then actually winning the next time, if that's the goal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, obviously, the people they really want to focus on from the babyface side of things in the story, Garcia, Hook, Orange Cassidy, and Darby, and Private Party. I think those are the people that are really going to be featured. And at the end are be the ones that are really going to get elevated, or at least that's the goal. And hopefully they can work it out so a lot of the talent that's being featured, even Dark Order, can in some way, I'm pessimistic about Dark Order, but I'm just saying, be elevated by being involved in this story. Although I feel like Dark Order is just going to get utterly annihilated by Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, no, look, it puts them on TV, and, you know, they're the first wave against them. Get mowed down, but you know, go down.
Didn't Evil Uno have a really fun match against Mox a while back where Uno got busted open and was bleeding all over the place? It was fun.
Must have been. Oh yeah, that was like the brief period of time when they were letting Uno do cool shit.
Yeah,
that was more of an Evil Uno match than a Mox match. Though.
It was. It really was. Yeah, therefore it was fun. What?
Nothing.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. After that, we had a Mariah May interview. Well, not after that. This is what we're going to talk about next. Mariah May interview, and she's upset about a great many things. Why Willow was the focus after she beat her at Wrestle Dream. Why she didn't get any questions at the post Wrestle Dream media scrum, which was very strange.
Yeah, dude, I don't know about that.
Like, no one asked about her thoughts on Toni Storm.
You know,
tagging with Mina. I mean,
I'm gonna say this real quick. You and I. Not good at interviews, especially ones that are like when we're sitting here on Zoom, okay, serviceable, right? The Dijak interview, serviceable, right?
Right. I think the key is if we have time to prepare, we're all right.
Yeah, but then if we're on the spot and it's like, oh, hey, there's a person, let me interview him. That's not our strong suit. We're terrible at it.
No.
So much so that we have not bothered to even try to get back in the good graces of whoever the fuck we need to get in the good graces of to be at the WWE media thing. We're not good at it.
No.
So why would we waste anybody's time?
Yeah.
If you're going to make the effort to be involved in these things, then maybe have some questions prepared for people you know who are going to be there. So you're not in the crowd sitting there and people are like, no questions from Mariah May, really? Like, come on, man. If you're not good at something, then just don't do it. It's all good. You know? And if you're not, and if you want to get better at it, then put yourself out there. Raise your damn hand.
So Mariah is also upset about Mina not being in AEW, that she hasn't had her celebration yet, and that there hasn't been any competition that has stepped up for her to challenge her. So she implores someone to do so and says AEW isn't where the best wrestle. It's where the best are afraid of the glamour. So Anna Jay rushes in and gets in Mariah May's face. She's willing to step up. So hapless Christopher Daniels steps in and tries to break it up. And Anna takes a swing at Mariah. May ducks it. So Anna slaps Daniels. So May leaves. And Anna Jay's all super apologetic about slapping Christopher Daniels.
My favorite part of this was Anna Jay was smiling the entire time. She came in with this. She was like trying to peacock Mariah May, and she couldn't help but smile the entire time.
Yeah.
The Daniel stuff was hilarious too. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "Oh, it's okay.
It's all right. It's fine."
Right. Oh boy,
we don't have to go through this verbatim.
Thank you.
This isn't even verbatim.
Yeah.
It's the Adam Cole promo. This whole segment, I watched this on the YouTube clip after watching the end of the East Coast feed before starting the West Coast feed. This YouTube clip was over 10 minutes long.
Jesus Christ. He did seem to confirm one thing, that MJF has had 2 hair surgeries.
Yeah, that's the second time someone's said that he's had 2.
I ain't talking shit. It's just some of this. Sometimes that kind of shit's interesting to me because it's like, why does he look a little bit different? His hair looks a little poofier, because I don't know, maybe one day this guy will want to get that. I want to get some literature about what goes down in Turkey. What are the benefits of doing it in Turkey versus, like Florida or something? Yeah. Do they have package deals or the travel packages? That's what I understand. Well. Yeah. I understand they got travel packages.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll just show up here with just like an immaculate,
just like
head of hair,
a hair helmet.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You can brush it back, get some body to it like CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No more hats for Steve.
Well, I like the hat though. I mean, look, I got hair on my head.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, I don't know if it's a wise tale or not, but if you wear a hat, like look at baseball players, they wear hats all day. Most of them are going bald.
Oh, that's not. I looked that up. Extensively because I'm doing hats a lot these days. Yeah, that ain't true. It actually, especially when you wear it out in the sun, it protects your head from sun damage. Sun damage is worse than wearing a hat.
Interesting.
According to science, anyways. Maybe they don't know what they're talking about.
No, I'd trust science over.
These days, you never know.
Oh, Steve, where are you going with that?
It's a joke. I love to fucking troll you with that shit, man. Yeah, listen to science, everybody.
Listen to science, everybody. So Adam Cole talks a lot. Tells Undisputed Kingdom, I love you. I got to do this on my own. Talks a lot of crap about MJF. Calls him fake. Calls him stupid. Mentions the 2 hair surgeries because he said everything about MJF is fake. And kind of punctuates by saying, everybody here hates you. Says, I hate you. I hate the way your voice sounds. I hate that I have to share a building with you. We're going to fight. So how about right now here at San Jose, you come down here and I whoop that ass. So MJF, his music hits, but he's not in the arena. He shows up on the Tron. He's got a glass of wine in his hand. And he talks about how he's done a lot of growing since he's been in this industry. Learn how to trust others. And learn the hard way that there's no such thing as trust. And he talks about Adam Cole. MJF let his guard down to let Cole in. Cole stabbed him in the back, and now there's a void in me forever. I'm never going to trust again, and that's because of you. That is your fault. And he says, I know you want nothing more than revenge. It's not going to happen. You'll never get me inside of the ring. You will die with a void of unfulfilled vengeance. And so Cole says, I know you're better than anybody. You can run, but you can't hide. I promise with every fiber of my being, when I get my hands on you, I'm going to give you the beating of a lifetime. Again, it's a weird thing where you have to completely turn things on their head just to make Adam Cole a babyface. And I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of reflection in terms of Adam Cole's behavior. He just kind of brushed it aside.
Yeah, which you got to wonder if maybe that was a conscious effort to be like, you know what? Let's try to just leave this in the past. We don't have to dive too deep into the details. I'm a good guy. He's a bad guy. But it kind of does a disservice to the people who remember. I mean, look, the AEW fans are the AEW fans. Like, they remember this shit in detail. So, yeah, I don't know. It feels like it might be like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation.
I kind of feel like there's a way, at least in the details, that you can maybe navigate it a little bit more efficiently or in a more satisfying manner than just, I had him let his guard down because I was going to turn on him because MJF is MJF, and to again, as Cole said, you got to fight evil with evil. It just, if you expect me to take you seriously as a babyface after you say that, I'm like,
yeah. Yep. After that, we had Mercedes Moné defending. I always say after that. I don't know. I don't think these are in chronological order.
It's not chronological. This is just based on stories.
All right. I gotta start altering.
I did it too.
Segues. Yeah. Also on AEW.
There we go.
Mercedes Moné defended her TBS title against Queen Aminata. This is where the episode of Dynamite really picked up for me because this match was a lot of fun. There was a lot of really cool stuff going on. Let me ask you something. I saw, who was it on the social media? Was it Meltzer? I forget who it was. I don't know. It was one of the talking heads. Said, you got Camille out there. Maybe it was Bully Ray. who said, "You got Camille out there, yet you're beating babyfaces clean. Kind of a misuse of Camille." Bully has said some stuff recently, or I'm like, I don't know why I'm agreeing with Bully all the time, but like he actually been making some decent points these days.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. It was a really good match. But yeah, in the end, if you want to kind of protect baby faces in a loss, I mean, that's one of the points of having Monet have a heater.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Camille didn't get involved. I think she tried to get involved in this match, but in the end, yeah, it was a pretty clean win. It was Meteor, backstabber, statement maker. Seemed like she's not using the Monet maker anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back to the bank statement for the finisher.
Yeah.
So then Queen Aminata taps, and then Camille just gets in the ring to celebrate with Mercedes, and I was like, all right, where's Statlander? Are they going to advance that story at all? But they really didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was weird.
Let's talk about Jay White. Looking for revenge against Christian Cage in the main event. You know, I agree that they probably should have bookended the shows with Mox World Order, but I like that Jay White got the main event because hopefully that means they got plans for him, major plans at that. And it was worth having this match in the main events because one of the closing images of the show was Hangman laying on the ground.
It was hilarious. That's why I
put
it
great.
in the thumbnail.
And I guess he was mimicking something that Christian had done when he cost Jay White
the
match against Hangman, where Christian's just laying on the floor really satisfied with himself for doing that.
Yeah.
Whereas Hangman, not a whole lot of satisfaction in his demeanor there. So due to Hangman's interference, Jay White takes the L to Christian in a fun match. So Kip Sabian gets on. He interfered a couple times. He gets on the apron to distract the ref. So Jay is looking for a blade runner on Christian, but Hangman instead hits him with a buckshot. Christian turns or covers him to get the win, and then he's posing in the corner. Christian is with contract, walks backstage. But then the last image of the show is Jay White selling the buckshot, and he looks kind of towards camera and laughs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and you got to anticipate at Full Gear, we're going to get Jay White and Hangman again.
Yeah. And I think, man, I don't know. We did a video the other day at Friendo Club talking about who we think is going to dethrone Mox eventually. And I think we both landed on it's probably going to be Darby, but how cool would it be if it was Hangman? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe this is the thing to set it up. I really love the idea of Hangman not even giving a shit about the Mox World Order and still being the guy to save AEW from the Mox World Order.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I think it's so great. Like they end up doing like a tournament or whatever, and he sees that Swerve enters. The only thing he cares about it, like Swerve is like, oh yeah, I want to save AEW, I want to save AEW, and Hangman's like, no, you're not going to save AEW. So he gets the tournament. Swerve ends up getting taken out, or Hangman ends up winning the thing, and he's like, oh, well, I guess now I have a title shot against Mox, which I don't really care about because it has nothing to do with Swerve. My job is done. I kept Swerve away from the world title, but then he ends up beating Mox for it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so and then also on Dynamite, Shelton Benjamin makes his in-ring AEW debut. This dude looks bigger than Bobby Lashley at this point. My God, he put muscle on top of muscle.
He is super jacked.
He's huge. Took on Lio Rush, beat him. But there's all sorts of MVP shenanigans going on. So at one point, Renee is interviewing the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Renee says, "What's next for you guys?" Billy says, "We're about to head to the gym." Bowen says, "We have a lot to say." And Caster says, "Our bodies and minds are right, coming off another win, but we want more." MVP and Shelton step in. MVP says, "Hey, if you're ready to be serious," he hands Caster his card. He says, "Give me a call." Bowen says, "We don't need anything from you," but Caster looks like he might be kind of interested.
Oh, and Shelton Benjamin is just glaring at Caster the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time.
Later on, Lio Rush takes on Shelton Benjamin. Of course, Lio takes the L here, but
good match.
In his in the end there, MVP gives Lio a business card. Says Lio Rush in his youthful exuberance opened up his mouth. That's what he said. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he talked about him. He says, "My colleague Shelton Benjamin, with his wisdom and world-class skill, was kind enough to close it. Good try, Lio. I can make some eloquent statement about what happens next, but I don't think I can make a better statement than the one made by Benjamin. But Swerve, I know you're watching. I know you need to know that you need to reconsider your position because this is your future. And I believe that we need to finish the conversation we started. Wrestle Dream, you and the standard of excellence, Shelton Benjamin." Later on, Swerve respond during an interview. This is the one thing that kind of I wish The Mox stuff needs to permeate the entire show.
Yeah.
Swerve's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
So Swerve should have something to say about that as well. He said, for the legends and superstars that they are, personality-wise, they're a bunch of mids who realize that my minimum is their maximum, which I liked. He says, so I saw what you did, Shelton. Impressive. You want to come for the big dog here in AEW. Smart. Something I'd have done too. So the answer is yes, make it happen. I'll be there. Shelton, on the collegiate level, you broke records that still stand to this day. But how many of those records were bones? Because I got records I can count too. You're coming to the most dangerous man in AEW. Don't fail because I won't. Be interesting to get his take on the Mox stuff.
Yeah, it would. So you were saying the first hour, some of the stuff in the first hour wasn't exactly the best. That included this Chris Jericho interview that he did after losing at Wrestle Dream, where he says, tonight's still vindication. He says, I'm in the #1 movie in America, Terrifier. Fozzie's on tour, selling out venues across the country. He says, I didn't become champion, but Briscoe cheated to win. I want a rematch, and I'm become a 2-time Ring of Honor champion, just like Jay.
So then, yeah, Mark responds. Does Mark come across to you as a guy who wants a second match with Chris Jericho?
Why would he?
Like, he's in this match. He responds and he says, we're going to do a ladder war match. But and I think he's trying to toe the line between exuberant Mark Briscoe and serious Mark Briscoe because of the Jay Briscoe stuff.
Yeah.
But it just comes across as I don't really want to be doing this.
Can't blame him.
I don't know. Yeah.
You should be doing other things.
Yeah, exactly. They have FTR versus Learning Trees, Big Bill and Brian Keith. FTR get the win here with the Shatter Machine on Brian Keith.
Yeah.
LFI's watching backstage. The Outrunners come out. They celebrate with FTR.
Yeah. They have their FTR runners gear on too.
They do, yeah. I did like when LFI was watching backstage as well. Mortos was just making grunting sounds. He was like,
oh, he had a polo shirt on,
and he had a burgundy polo shirt on. He's like,
yeah, that's great. Then we had Ricochet calling out Takeshita. He's upset that he's viewed as a loser coming out of Wrestle Dream when it was Will Ospreay that got pinned, and he took umbrage with Callis calling Takeshita the best in the world. And he says, you just can't be called that. Your matches should dictate that, not what your manager says. He says, I'll be at Collision this weekend. Hold on, Steve. Taking on all comers. If you want to be there, Takeshita, that's cool. Yes, Steve, I know Takesh is one of the best wrestlers in the world if you watch his matches.
Yeah, but there's also this. What really dictates if you're the best in the world should be wins!
Well, Ricochet rightly said he hasn't been pinned yet in AEW.
Should be if you win. Not your matches. That makes it sound
whereas
like
Takesh has taken a lot of L's.
Therefore,
by that logic, Ricochet is best in the world.
Well, I guess we'll see about that. That should be actually a really good match. Yep. Wait, Takeshita, that's going to happen on Collision?
No. It's AR Fox versus Ricochet on Collision. That'll be really good. He just says, Ricochet says, I'll be on Collision, and if anybody wants to step up.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. I hope you'll be there, Takeshita.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something to that effect. And then we also met the new Don Callis family. Don Callis called a press conference to introduce his new tag team to go after those tag titles, Brian Cage and Lance Archer.
Are they going after the Ring of Honor tag titles?
No, he said, I got a taste of tag championship because you're saying that because Brian Cage is a TV champ.
Well, also, I don't know. I don't see, it's like, okay, we got Private Party, you got maybe Blackpool Combat Club, you got a lot of these other teams that are top notch.
I know what you're saying.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Hologram is a Mox guy? You think Mox thumbs up, thumbs down Hologram?
Probably a thumbs down.
What? The guy's won 13 matches in a row.
No, that's not how Mox approaches wrestling. See, Hologram's matches are exciting. You get into them.
There's a fundamental difference between Mox's appreciation
their approach to wrestling. Mox doesn't think wrestling should be enjoyable or fun. Should be taxing.
Man.
Battle of attrition between wrestler and audience.
I think they should. That's the real war.
Exactly.
wrestler in the audience. There you go.
So also here, Callis introduces Fletcher and Takesha. They both come to the ring. Takesha says he cuts the promo in Japanese and punctuates it by saying,
by the fucking way, can we not
What?
be doing the what stuff anytime somebody who's speaking in a different language in English, or if they are speaking in English and it doesn't happen to be their
just
first
stop
language?
with the fucking what chance.
Just fucking stop with that shit. Jesus Christ almighty.
Just stop with it. So then he punctuates by saying, I'll defend the title all over the world. If you want this belt, come and take it. And then Fletcher says, you want to know why I attacked Will Ospreay? Too bad. No explanation.
He's a bad guy.
Did you like Kyle Fletcher's denim jacket, Steve?
Well, maybe that's a clue. Maybe he showed up with the very wide jelly roll-esque denim jacket and was like, "Oh, Will, you like this?" And Will's like, "No, brother, looks like trash. Look at you, you fit. You should be wearing something thin." He's like, "Thin? Thin? And he's like, "Yeah, right, bruv." And then he's like, "I like my denim jacket. Give me a screwdriver." And that's what happened.
Oh, that was the origins of the beef.
Will Ospreay did not
Will was
appreciate the very
criticizing.
wide denim jacket. Will Ospreay
He's comfortable. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, you think so, though?
I haven't worn a denim jacket in a very long time.
It looked brand new, too. I think those things really have to be, like, broken in a little bit.
Yeah, they do. I think that's what really
It looked like it
determines
was
how
50%
comfortable.
starch.
Yes.
It was like cardboard.
You can definitely see the creases in it still. Yeah, maybe.
He thought he looked like such a badass in this thing. I'm like, buddy, you've got muscles on muscles now. You're WWE size.
Yeah,
you
you
need
gotta show off that beef. Yeah.
the least amount of clothes you can. Is how you got to approach
he had
that.
like leather pants or.
And he's
something
got
like
an amazing head of hair.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show
Well,
off.
what
the
do I
beef.
know? I'm in my mid 40s. I don't know shit about style.
Well, I think here's the thing though. If you had the beef like Kyle Fletcher has,
Oh, bro.
you would never wear a shirt. I wouldn't either.
Never.
No.
Ever. I'd be doing the lat, pushing everything.
Showing off your
forward,
lat
whatever.
wings.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing the peck earthquake
All the time.
all the
All the
time. All right, let's talk NXT. What do you think of the new Performance Center? It looks small, yeah. Smaller.
We know your thoughts on it. I liked it.
I know it's not. They got rid of the color vomit.
I can't stand the color vomit.
The color palette's fine, and it's they replaced the LED screens with the silhouettes of fans to try to fool you to think that there's more people in that place than what there were.
Yeah.
But I feel like to accommodate all the LED screens that are everywhere, and it looks good. They like cut down on the capacity of the venue, so it looks like there's maybe 50 people there.
Yeah, they sort of widened out the stage, like the stage area, so it looks a bit more main rosterish. It's
It
like
does,
wider.
but
It's not
at
so
the expense of seats.
I think they should do this.
They should tear a wall down like I suggested.
Brett.
Add more seats.
Nah, just lower the lights on the crowd. Lower the lights on the crowd. We don't need to
Steve,
see.
you realize with how few people are in there, if they did that, the
Yeah.
entire venue would be basically dark, and one spotlight would be over the ring.
I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. Look at Full Sail. This looks stupid too, but it's dark and you'd be the focus on the wrestlers.
But they probably fit 5 times more people in Full Sail they did in this place.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna piss some people off. I'm gonna move the goalpost here, and I'm admitting that I'm doing it. I kind of realize that it's just because this is one thing I kind of liked NXT this week because they've injected some people that I'm like, oh, I really like them. Like they've really. This Javon Evans guy is so fucking cool.
Fantastic.
I love him. He's great. Stephanie Vacour is just, oh my god, that match with Ren Sinclair was fucking awesome.
It was really, really good.
It was really cool shit. So now I'm not going to bitch about the presentation aspect anymore. Now I'm just going to say, hey, build up some more stars, give us some stories that we like, and I'll be down with NXT. Because I thought the main event was really good too. I like this twist on Wesley. I like the bad Wesley character.
But did Ethan Page really need another title shot?
Yeah. How did he lose that title? Was that straight up?
Yeah, he just took a knee. Oh no, because Phil was in there meddling with stuff a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. That was on. Yeah. That was fine. That was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was really. Yeah. Phil was really involved in that match. Sure.
I'm just kind of
punctuate.
I'm kind of over Ethan Page being involved in the main event scene.
Well, it's about to be done with.
I know, but we got to wait another 3 weeks, 2 weeks, sorry. 2
Oh my God, is Halloween Havoc in 2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But
The
yeah,
Sunday
dude,
before Halloween, yeah.
I don't know. Obafemi versus Tony D'Angelo is happening again too, and a tables ladder scares match to once again protect Obafemi from taking this loss, and Tony D keeping that title. I think.
Well, there's an interesting thing that Obafemi said.
Family ain't gonna be there with you.
Yeah, ain't gonna be there to help you.
Did he think he was gonna like spin it on a cage match? And then I was like, tables ladder scares. Damn it.
That either means he's going to take him out, which seems like a distinct possibility because, like, Luca's like, I want to take on Obafemi. Bad idea, Luca. You're going to get wrecked.
That's a bad idea, yeah.
So it's going to be a situation where Oba takes out D'Angelo family, or is Obafemi going to be the new Don of NXT? He's going to take over the family.
It doesn't make any sense, though.
It doesn't make any sense, so he's probably going to take him out.
You're probably going to take him out. That's what I would think. I'm trying to think if I like that idea, though. Obafemi is the new Don. Yeah. I don't know. If they didn't turn on Tony D when he said, I'm scared.
It wouldn't make sense for them to turn on him now that he's champion. No, it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. That'd be cool, though. He'd make a cool Obafemi, make a cool boss. Yeah. But I don't know. There was some cool stuff going on in NXT. I liked it. I thought it was good.
I think once the presentation turned around, then most of your qualms have been dealt with.
I do think that for that stretch where I was like, God, this is kind of hard to get through. It's because guys like, Braun, Ilya, Carmelo all left. So it's like, what do you really got? The presentation was crap too, don't get me wrong. But it's like they haven't done a great job. Like after Trick gets rid of Ethan Page, I mean, is it going to be Obafemi at that point? And is that too soon? Because Trick just won that title. Steve. Jeez. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. The Brooks Jensens, the freaking... even like Ridge Holland. I mean, maybe they're building up Ridge Holland to lose to Trick. That's a possibility as well.
Stone Cold Ridge Holland?
Did he do a promo this week?
No, he didn't.
God damn it. I want to hear Stone Cold Ridge Holland. And that's the bottom line, because Ridge Holland said so.
He had the head movements down and everything.
He did. No, he did. He'd watched that 96 King of the Ring promo for sure.
It was pretty funny. I guess we can just run through this. So we talked about...
whoa, buddy. What? Hold on a second. You got to watch out with it. We got to run through this? Nah, we have to take our time with it.
I didn't mean let's do this at great speed. I mean, let's run through the stories that were involved.
Oh, this is the main event segment right here, man.
All right, let's talk the main event because Ethan Page got
deep dive, baby.
Another NXT title shot. So earlier in the show, before the main event, Cedric and Javon are talking backstage. Fraxian walks up to him. And they tell Javon, hey, great performance against Randy Orton. And Cedric kind of jokingly gives them some static for costing them the tag match a few weeks back. And then Wes Lee steps in and tells Javon, you're not ready to be champion.
Yeah.
So that leads to some crap talk between Javon, Wes Lee. Fraxian breaks it up. In the main event, of course, he had Wes, Javon, Ethan Page. Page gets the win here after Javon hits Wesley with a tornado, and then Page rolls up Evans.
Super smooth for Page, too.
It was.
Yeah, really smooth roll up here.
So after the match, he goes up by the wheel, drops a promo, says, as long as I have air in my lungs, that NXT title is mine. He calls out Trick to spin the wheel. Trick comes out. Page spins it, lands on Devil's Playground. Match. So I guess like a no DQ, no holds barred type deal.
Is that what it is? I'm going to look it up.
I would guess. So Trick holds up the title, then Ethan Page just blasts him with a light. He picks up the title and holds it over Trick to close the show.
Devil's Playground match. What is a Devil's Playground match? Standard false count anywhere.
False count anywhere? All right.
What is this from? Oh, Fightful. It says their next match on WWE NXT Premium Live event will be a Devil's Playground match. This is a standard false count anywhere contest. There you go. So to open the show, we had Tony D sitting in the ring with a table next to him, glass of wine, North American title. This I could have done without. Yeah, he talks about how he wanted to celebrate with his family. And so it seemed like at first his family wasn't there, but they were just kind of hovering off frame a little bit because he saw Luca was there. Yeah, right? They just sort of showed up all of a sudden. They were just there. So, but he puts over Obafemi. He says, I want to give a toast. He says, I beat Oba by using Oba's pride against him. I baited him into thinking that he had broken the Dawn. I seized the moment, beat Oba. Let's raise a glass to him. Obafemi's music hits. He comes to the ring. He says, Tony, you got me. But it's not going to happen again at Halloween Havoc. I'm going to reclaim the title, and I'll once again be ruler of NXT. So he leaves.
and says, and your family won't be by your side to help you. So that he spins the wheel, and then we get the table ladders and scares match as the stipulation.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't huge on the let me sit down with a glass of wine and talk thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not a Tony D guy. And if you're a Tony D fan, then you're eating good on Tuesday, but it wasn't really my deal. Let's talk about Stephanie Vaquer. Oh, my God.
Oh, great.
This was fucking awesome. Her and Ren Sinclair.
Infinite aura. Stephanie.
Dude, are
Vaquer
you kidding
has.
me? Dude,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that entrance, hey, that's going to look great on main roster. That is going to look spectacular.
Yep.
You know, it's got shades of Finn Balor, the whole thing. Because I watched Finn Balor's, what was it? One of the takeovers. Forget what it was. It was the takeover where he debuted with Deo Itami with Kenta.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, against the Ascension. And it was, he came out in the whole demon thing. And it just kind of reminded me a little bit. Obviously, she didn't come out like a demon, but man, this was cool.
Well, what's the nickname they were using for?
Shit, I forget.
I don't remember either.
Neither do I.
Anyway, this is a really good match against Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair is really good in the ring, too.
She is. She's super good, yeah.
Stephanie gets the win with a package neck breaker, and then Cora and Roxanne. It's not Fallen Angel. Whimsical Ducky. That's Christopher Daniels. So Cora and Roxanne
Dark Angel?
yes, that's
winning.
what it was.
Dark Angel? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's kind of
Cora and Roxanne attack after the bell. Julia runs out to make the save. Her and Stephanie kick Cora and Roxanne out of the ring, and then Stephanie gets a mic and challenges Roxanne and Cora to a tag match against her and Julia at Halloween Havoc.
There you go.
And later on, Stephanie and Julia are in Ava's office, and Ava's like, I love the idea of this tag match. Fatal Influence walk in. They want a North American title shot, and Ava says, well, got to earn it. So two of you, you're going to take on Julia and Stephanie next week. So it looks like Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix probably taking an L to Julia and Stephanie next week.
Yep, certainly seems like it. We also had a gentleman's duel match. I'll be honest with you. I kind of like this. Because it's just a bunch of...
some of the rules, I know.
Yeah, right? Like, no brawling on the outside. It is, I mean, when you think about it, like, what the hell is a gentleman rules? This is pretty cool. No brawling on the outside. You can't throw your opponent over the top rope.
My favorite one, though, is if your opponent is on all fours, can't do anything.
4 points of contact, you can't do anything. And so Lexus was like using that to his advantage. I like this stuff. I thought it was pretty good.
Yep. So before that match happened, Byron's laying out the rules to Oro. And Oro's like, why is Alexis trying to pretend he's not his father's son? And then Lexus steps in and says, I didn't cheat last time to win. You did. So tonight is a fair wrestling match to let the best man win. And yeah, Lexus King was probably doing a better job of using the rules to his benefit than Oro was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In
the end, they're trading pin combos, and Lexus King did the bridge and roll-up type deal to get the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was kind of half expecting him to do the handful of tights to get the win here. It didn't happen.
Right. No, man. Gentlemen rules, duels.
Gentlemen rules. So later on, Lexus King approaches No Quarter Catch Crew, thanks Dempsey for the match idea, and says, now I think I'm ready for a rounds match. Dempsey goes, no, I don't think you are. So he leaves. Lexus King does, walks past Tony and the family, and they talk about Tony's match against Oba Femi. And that's when Lucas says, I want Oba next week to show him the true power of the D'Angelo family.
Oh, man. That's going to be bad news.
Luca's getting wrecked.
Yeah. It's going to be Luca. We also had, we talked about that. So there was a bit with, this is how the Fatal Attraction wanted that North American title match.
Fatal Influence. Oh, I wrote Fatal Attraction. That's not their name. That's the movie. Fatal Influence.
I'm fucking Ron Burgundy, man. You lead me and I'll follow, buddy.
No, that's my bad.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Trick and Kalani are backstage. They're having a nice conversation. Trick says, hey, you look good we look good last week holding the gold in the air. Kalani's like, yeah, you get to find out your opponent tonight. He's like, regardless of who I face, this title reign is going to go better than last time. And then Fatal Attraction walks past in the background, stops to listen in. They're like, what? Kalani's like, I'm just going to leave it up to Ava to choose my next opponent. I don't care who it is. And then her and Trick leave. Fatal Influence step into the camera frame, and Jason's like, we got to go have a talk with Ava. That happened earlier. We just talked about it. Some of these recaps are going to be a bit whiteboardish. Then we had also in a video package, Jakara and Lash issue a challenge to Kairi and Io, because over on main roster, of course, Jakara and Lash cost Kairi and Io that match against Bianca and Jade. And so it seems like Kairi and Io are going to be showing up here in NXT to take that challenge.
Yep. Not surprisingly, Lola Vice, Jada Parker, they still got beef. So Lola took on a returning Nikita Lyons. Jada Parker cost Lola this match. So Nikita super kicks Lola out of the ring, and Jada just destroys Lola with a running hip attack. So then Lyons hits Lola with a Vader bomb to get the win. Later on, backstage, Byron's interviewing Tatum Paxley. She's talking about Wendy Chu. Says Wendy pretended to be her friend, but all she did was stab me in the back. And then Jada and OTM interrupt. And Jada says, I'm the one Lola's going to have to learn. But then Tatum interrupts, says, hey, you interrupted my interview. And Jada's like, you can handle Wendy, but I'm not one to play.
Yeah, man. Jada's so good. I think Jada's going to be a huge star, dude. She's so legit.
Yep.
So that's going to be good stuff. We also had, more Chase U stuff. Chase U himself, Andre Chase, made his big return. Chase U!
Chase U!
Because that piece of shit Riley Osborne took on Ridge in a rematch from a couple weeks ago, but the result was the same. Riley took the L after a package DDT from Ridge Holland. Stone Cold Ridge Holland. Ridge attacked Riley after the bell. Looked to DDT him on the announce table. Thea Hale was all upset about that. She was like, please don't do this. And then Andre Chase runs out, takes out
I love
Ridge.
that it's like it's back and forth between a British accent and a Texas accent.
Yeah, right. It's like a little bit of Regal
place.
injected to Stone Cold a bit.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
So we had Shawn Spears and Brooks Jensen step up to Ashanti for some reason.
Dude.
It's like got to man their own business.
I didn't think somebody could have less aura than Lexis King, but Spears and Jensen are probably there, man.
So
I don't. What is that thing that Spears wear? Why it's like Spears? It's like he's trying to look horrible. Like what? He's got the weird sleeveless like robe.
Well, it's not even a robe. It's like a blazer, but really long.
Yeah, it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's so gnarly. He steps in the frame like, what are you doing with yourself right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Brooks had he had low flow pressure on his shower head because he's
got some dirty Chuck Taylors on.
Well, that's fine. You know, dirty, that's kind of punkish, but like the hair is killing me with Brooks, man. It's just killing me.
Yeah, he hasn't combed his beard or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. It's a mess.
So Carmen and Brindley are talking about Stephanie and Julia teaming up, and then Ashanti steps in and hands Brindley a rose. Well, that's when Spears and Brooks step in. Spears tells Ashanti to treat women with respect, so he takes the rose, hands it to Brooks, and Brooks tears it up. And then Ashanti steps up to Brooks Jensen. Stone rushes in to keep them apart, so they all leave, and then Carmen leans down and picks up the petals from the rose that have been ripped off the stem. So later on, Ashanti takes on Brooks Jensen. Brooke gets the win with the draping DDT off the top rope. But during the match, Carmen comes down and opens up like a little bag and dumps the petals on the apron. That kind of distracts Ashanti for a little bit.
Ashanti's horny is getting in the way of success.
Yeah.
And then, Brooks gets the draping DDT to get the win here over Ashanti. But then, Carmen didn't seem... What do you make of the rose petal thing? A bit ambiguous, right?
I wasn't sure if I don't know.
She didn't look upset that he lost. She didn't look overly happy. She looked kind of satisfied that he lost.
A little bit, yeah.
So was that really... Because wait a second, wasn't he trying to court other people at one point? Like he came out during one of their
Ashanti's
matches?
Been trying to court everybody.
This dude's horny.
Yeah.
He wants some action. And I'm not talking about in the ring. I'm talking about sexual intercourse.
You made it perfectly clear before you said it. So
I need to make sure it's spelled out for everybody.
Apparently.
He is interested in sex and lots of it. Oh, man. Oh, man.
So, I don't know what Carmen's motivation was. It was hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't even know if she knew what it was. They were like, you're going to go out there and you're going to dump the rose petals. And they're like, okay. She's like, okay, well, Meisner, what am I thinking?
Yeah.
What am I feeling?
Well, I mean, not even that, just motivation. What's my purpose of being out there? To dump the petals on the apron.
You're there to dump the petals on the apron.
But why am I doing that?
Yeah.
Because that's what the script says.
Right, exactly. Who wrote the script? I did. Think I'm cute. Sexy boy. We got another Delta video package.
We did.
There was
would it be something if Stephanie and Julia win at Halloween Havoc and then Delta shows up and lays out everybody?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Where is this building with a giant NXT sign on top of it? Why aren't they having their matches there?
There's an off ramp on the freeway that leads to Orlando. I think
that's one with the giant NXT sign, the highway there.
You're driving through Orlando, you're like, I wonder where the Performance Center is. Just look for the giant building with the NXT logo on it.
Right. Is that the Performance Center? I've been to the Performance Center. It's not a 20-story building.
No.
Yeah. Maybe they changed it. They upgraded it. They did go. They took your suggestion. They went up.
They took a wall down, but then just added to the top of the building.
They took the top wall off.
There we go.
Which is also known as the ceiling.
Ceiling, and just added more wall, also known as wall.
Right, exactly. Oh man, John Lawson says Carmen's digging his vibe. If she dug his vibe, wouldn't that mean that she would want him to win? Is it a humiliation fetish? Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. See how it plays out next week.
Yeah. Anyway,
you want to answer some questions?
What a great job we did reviewing a very exciting action wall to wall, including top wall.
Top wall. I mean, it was so exciting. It blew the top wall off, Steve.
We did a great job recapping it, by the way. I thought that
so
we
too.
went in depth and added a lot of valuable insight and context to NXT.
Dude, all the storylines.
So intricate.
Complex, intricate storylines on NXT. Yes.
Absolutely. Nobody has any reason to complain now.
None.
All right. Let's go ahead and
question time. Ethan Granville says, more of a hot take, but you think it would have been cooler to have Pac or Claudio take the title off Brian or literally anyone but Mox again?
No, Mox is the head honcho. Come on now.
So me, personally, yes, anyone, but I understand why they did Mox.
Right. I would love to see Claudio be world champ at some point. But for this particular storyline, I understand why they're going with Mox. He's a really big deal.
Yeah, I guess so.
Zach Steesh says, what if Danielson, in kayfabe, was actually the one orchestrating the Mox World Order? I'll be honest, no disrespect meant to Zach. Terrible idea. That would undermine that's on par with Vince being the higher power.
Yeah, but it's in terms of something that Danielson would do to mess with people, that seems like something he would do just to mess with people.
So if they want to lean into the I like lying thing, yeah, but that's a terrible way to do it also.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great
really
idea,
bad. Yeah, awful. Joe the Meme Maker, what should be the aesthetic and maybe good logo for the Mox World Order? Great question.
I mean, Steve has it on the thumbnail. It looks great.
I took just a bare minimum of effort for
Hey, man,
that.
it's convincing.
It's not. And it's also a gnarly trademark copyright violation.
Well, here's the thing. They would put the M on there. They wouldn't put that ugly WWE logo on the shirt like WWE does with the NWO shirts. And therefore, they're in the clear, right?
They're in the clear. You'd think
they're
so.
In the clear.
Not a lawyer, but yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I don't know. Do they need a name? They need a name, right? Names are kind of cheesy these days.
Yeah. AEW hasn't been that great with the names and specifically logos for factions. So maybe just no name, no shirt. Just have them be.
I know, but the problem is everybody calls them Blackpool Combat Club still.
Okay, well, until they give us a reason not to, let's just call them Blackpool Combat Club.
There's like two reasons. Danielson's not in the group, and moreover, Regal's not in the group.
Regal hasn't been in the group for a very long time, Steve.
And they should have stopped then. They should have stopped then.
Jimmy Thomas here says, yesterday Yuta hit Orange with a knee plus while dressed as Danielson, and Archer was dressed like Drew McIntyre. Mm-hmm. What other wrestlers should dress like each other?
I think one of those is incredibly intentional, and the other is just happenstance.
Yes. Oh, the Wheeler in full Bryan Danielson outfit was absolutely intentional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think who should wear Roman Reigns' vest in tactical pants in AEW.
Wow. Well,
what if Kyle Fletcher was wearing the huge denim jacket and they took it off and he had the vest and tactical pants on?
No. He keeps it on and puts the tactical vest
over the
denim vest.
Denim jacket.
Yes. Gotcha. Yeah. Javier says, who are Mox's next 3 challengers before Darby? Are they going to job out like Orange Cassidy to Mox first?
Since the focus of the attack was on Orange Cassidy, you got to assume he's probably first.
Hey, wait a second. Hook didn't call out anybody about his dad.
Hook didn't say to anybody, reveal yourself.
He's like, what's funny is that I told people to reveal themselves and they didn't. I don't know where to go from here. I did what I can do.
I tried it once, didn't work.
I tried to review some security footage. They gave me this weird rectangular black thing, and they were like, here, it's a VHS tape. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. That's probably all that security footage is probably digital now, isn't it?
Yeah, it gives you
on a hard
thumb drive.
Yeah, it's on a thumb drive.
Nikyle here says this main story on AEW with all the heels dominating the faces, a risky story for AEW where if heels dominate too long, does AEW risk losing viewers?
Listen, any story is a risk for AEW because they need to make sure that everybody stays not injured and let it play out. The good thing about this story is that there's a shit ton of people involved. So if one person goes down, you can still go.
Step up. And also, we just got done, or we're not even completely done, of 4 years of bloodline domination on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
The reason people tuned in because the story was really good.
Yeah.
If the story is good, I don't think it'll turn anybody off. Let's see here. Chadwick Hughes asks, what are some aspects of presentation that you would bring from main roster to NXT? They should really do all their shows, the venues of the size of the one they did in St. Louis, the second CW show.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
That's like ideal size venue for NXT, I feel like.
Dude, why do you think it took an extra week? Do you think Randy Orton was on par with CM Punk in terms of being a draw? The ratings.
Apparently for TV in terms of live attendance, no.
Yeah, right. Isn't that that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of strange.
Yeah. So maybe
it was week 1 to week 2 was 2%, and then it dropped 27%. No. But then the attendance was an issue for I don't know, it was weird.
St. Louis show, yeah.
Let's see here. Lord Blake Whitehouse says, what do you expect Ethan Page's peak to be when he's called up to main roster?
A less decorated Miz.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, dude. Miz is incredibly... Miz is so singular because,
two-time Grand Slam champ.
I don't think anybody with that level of mid is going to achieve what he's achieved ever again.
No, I don't think ever again, no.
Here we go. AJ Otani, who in kayfabe is the worst special guest referee? He says HBK is easily top 3. HBK might be number 1. He literally used his finish on The Undertaker.
Yeah.
He tried to help, yeah.
He overtly tried to help.
Yeah, and then he did it also back on the first episode of SmackDown.
He did. He super kicked The Rock.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. Atomic Nerd says, might be a hot take, but I feel that Okada has lost some prestige coming to AEW. What are your thoughts?
No, he's gained it because he's funny.
Wildly entertaining.
And he's hilarious, and he's still a great wrestler.
That bit where Orange Cassidy, I think, was trying to do the sunset flip on him in the match. Okada's trying to keep his balance and leans down and flips him off. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really
Okada's great.
Let's see here. Oh, this is great. Did you see? You're not the only pro wrestling influencer who was taken by social media shenanigans. Dave Meltzer, of course, mentioned that he was expecting Mascara Dorada to be in a Takeshita match on AEW. It turned out to be like an AEW Chinese parody or whatever it is. It was a fake graphic. So us old timers, we have a hard time maneuvering and figuring out what's real and fake. Because I've been taken by stuff too.
Media literacy.
Right, yes. Exactly. We've been, to expect us not to get centelled every time. is difficult. So this question is from David Matushek. With AEW interested in making a match involving Konosuke Takeshita and Mascara Dorada, what other social media hoaxes should wrestling companies use as inspiration for future matches? Because, yeah, it seems like I think Meltzer said now they might want to try to do that match.
Yeah.
What social media hoaxes? Trying to think.
I'm trying to think as it relates to the world of wrestling.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I don't know. I did just see a clip on Twitter, though, of someone using AI to put C-3PO in a UFC fight.
That's awesome. Can you please send that to me? Because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it again.
That sounds great. Yeah, I don't know. That one I'd have to, that's like one I can't remember what silly, like fake matches I've seen out there. But, you know, I mean, they could try to replicate back in the day when you and I used to play NWO WCW World Tour all the time, and we try to figure out which version of Hulk Hogan was superior, the Hollywood or original, because he was like the most powered up by far guy on that game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we ever even answered that question.
I don't know.
Definitively, anyways.
All right, that's about all I got.
All right, that's all I got as well. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hopefully, you'll join us tomorrow evening after SmackDown for our review then. We also have a count out going up first thing in the morning. I think it's going to be called something like Top 10 Saddest Retirement
Final
Matches. Final matches?
Yeah.
That's good.
The last match is 1 of the 2.
That's good. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.